Here we have our spaghetti mess, which is the main part of our SAD robot, and we have our base. And what's the last bit which is missing? Our back plate. So let's go ahead and do this. Let's try and get this top on. So the easiest way I find to do it, and it's not an easy thing to get this all together, is just try to get these top pins of the Arduino kind of going under the pins of the LCD. If you can get them gently sliding under without any of the wires having too much pressure on them, then the top plate will come in place and you'll be able to pop the screws in. So what we need first is we just need 2 nuts in the top section there. So there's our 2 nuts for our screws, and we need 2 8mm screws. And let's just give it a try and see how we go. So let's clear a bit of room there. Just push these up a bit. Oh, it's tricky. And you're wondering why we're not using circuit boards. Well, the thing is, we want to be able to play around and change the pins as we please. We want to be able to maybe take the vibration sensor out and put a different sensor in. So we want to give you the opportunity to play around with this as much as you can. And I've just dropped that. So even though it's quite fiddly to put together and to take apart, you'll be able to play around with it a lot. Okay, almost there. Almost there. That is the little click that we are really looking for. So try to stay cool. Don't get frustrated like me. It can take quite a few times. But while you're doing it, just be gentle. SAD robot's already sad. Don't make him sadder. Just be gentle and it'll come together. Okay, awesome. There we go. Now the Nano's just sitting fairly firmly in its spot here, and this is where you access the USB port, mini USB, not micro USB, and that's how you can connect to the Arduino IDE on your computer. So once we put it all together, we're just going to place just a small piece of foam here, just when you're plugging your cable in and out, just so that you're not pushing the Nano around. Now the reason being is we do want to give you access to be able to take the Nano out, to be able to change pins and change components, but we don't want you to have to open up SAD Robot every time you're pulling a cable in and out. So I think next what we can do is we can put our base plate on, and you'll see my resistors just popped out there. One thing I don't have in my tools here is a pair of pliers. Yes, they are super useful, probably useful right now, because if you just bend the wire over and just clamp it down a little bit, you'll probably be able to get a much firmer connection into the DuPont pin. I think it's a little bit too big. There we go. I should do the same for the other side. Yep, that's a bit firmer. Okay, so let's put the legs on. Again, we need just to pop the two nuts in there. Two 8mm screws. And here's the tricky part. Oh, we've dropped our resistor again. Oh, that's better. We just want to gently pop our components in here. One more thing, the vibration sensor does have a potentiometer on it, so during your coding you'll be able to take a reading from the vibration sensor. If it's not at the sensitivity that you like, you can adjust this. So maybe you want to be more gentle when you're shaking him or so on. Maybe you want to throw him across the room. No, don't do that. Please don't do that. Also, there's a reset pin here, and you'll notice on the back plate there's actually a hole there which is for reset, and you can just use a small, hopefully in your toolkit you have something really small that you can pass through here. It'll pass straight through to the reset pin, and you can just pop it to reset. Of course, you can do a reset just by pulling the batteries, and yeah. So got that gently there, and just pop our legs on. Cool. And our two 8mm screws on the bottom there. Oh. Hopefully you're an expert at driving screws. Cool. Almost there. Okay, next part. Tricky. Back plate. Oh, why have I forgot my little piece of foam? This is definitely much easier to put in when this is undone. Okay, we might... Yeah, we're not going to be able to get it in. That's cool. I'll just loosen this up a bit. And then I can drop that down. Just push in slightly. There we go. Tighten up the screws again. Awesome. That just makes our Nano quite a bit more firm. Our resistor is popping out again. Okay, here we go. Back plate. Turn SAD robot over. And put all the nuts that we need. There we go. So if we just lie SAD robots straight down over the back plate, well, we shouldn't have to worry about losing any of the nuts out of place while we put all the screws in. If you want to be ambitious and lift him up, go for it. I've never been able to do it without dropping a screw inside, without dropping a nut inside. So now we need a bunch of 8mm screws. Let's get a pile there. And we'll just start to make our way around putting all these screws in. And just 2 to go. Awesome. Now, if you're lucky, the only thing you should hear is the vibration sensor just making a little sound. If you've got some loose nuts in there, well, then it will sound like the sound inside my head. So you may need to open it up and fix that. But, you know, there you go. That's SAD robot. Let's pop some batteries in and see whether we have any luck. Okay, that's a good sign. So, yep, just some basic, very, very basic code sitting on the SAD robot at the moment. You can see the backlight is just slightly illuminating. I kind of prefer it without the backlight, so it's up to you. You can play around with that. You'll notice sometimes you'll get some different markings on SAD robot. The edging sometimes will be slightly different. Please bear with that. We're trying our best to make the best robots we can with what we have. These are made by hand in Sydney. And yeah, thanks very much for watching, and yeah, have fun with your SAD robot. I guess the last thing to the last thing we need to do is pop our arm backs on, and you can just use some 8mm screws for these. Let's pop that in. And sometimes I find, yes, I can feel, sometimes you'll need a 10mm screw. It just depends how many times you've been taking the batteries in and out. There's lots of spare screws that comes together with the SAD robot, so don't worry about that. The screw's just going, there's no nut for this one, so the screw is just going into the arm itself. After you've opened it quite a few times, you'll probably find you'll need a 10mm screw. So just don't overdrive them. Luckily, it's part of the robot you won't be looking at all the time. So yeah, so SAD robot comes in white, pink, and transparent, and he is going to have a friend soon. Maybe I have something to, a bit of a sneak preview of SAD robot number 2. I'll let you know some more about him very soon. He's going to be cool. Okay, thanks guys, and any questions, please let me know. Bye.